So hello everybody, it is me, I think that's my name, Demetra K. And I'm sitting here with Donovan, the recovering Democrat Sadiq, also known as the Black Yule Brenner. This is the Demetra K Show where we promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people with the emphasis on even because we're great people, but we can always try to do better. I'd like to say a big giant thank you, hello, and welcome to YouTube and Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation. Not only are you viewers, but you are family, and sometimes we share the link. If I share the link and your profile looks like this, please show me this. And if you're not comfortable, you can go back to that. Just especially if I've never seen you on here before, I like to see your face at least once because sometimes people like to play too much and we don't want to be playing all the time. Okay. Also, it's not that we disagree, it's how we disagree. So let's try to be as respectful as we can on the panel and in the comments section. Today, we're going to be talking about anti-Black attorney saying he will vigorously challenge the New York reparations effort. Of course, you guys know that attorney as Edward Blum. He's been very instrumental in dismantling a lot of stuff for so-called, I'll say so-called stuff for Black people. So we'll get into that and, just have a conversation about it one way or the other. Donovan, how are you?
I am doing great, Demetra. How are you? How is everybody else? We're going to get into this conversation, but before we get into this conversation, for those of you guys that have time to donate, and you have donated, we thank you so much. If you want to donate to keep the show going, as we all know, it does take time, effort, and money to produce these shows and keep the content creators motivated. There's a way you can do it: Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, cash, money order, whatever else you got in your pocket. We're willing to take it. We don't mind the type that rolls, but we prefer the type that folds. You know what I'm saying? So also, do not forget the African Diaspora News Channel app. You can get that on Google Play, Apple Store. Also, if you become a member of subscribe to the African Diaspora News Channel app, you have a part of there that you guys probably are seeing on YouTube, the Emancipation Channel. It's not all politics. It's dealing with different topics going on in the United States that affect Black people. And then the African Diaspora News Channel app itself deals with the whole African diaspora, so we can find out what's going on with our brothers and sisters all around the world. And what we're trying to do is, if we can get 2 to 3 people a show to subscribe, that would get us faster off of this platform, which is somebody else's platform, to where we have to abide by the rules, and we can go to our own platform and talk the way we want to talk, the way Black folks talk, and how we do it. And that's the quickest way to do that. And also, don't forget about this. Not only uh, can you buy a membership and things over there, you can do that for other people if you would like. That's a great Christmas gift if you guys would like to do that. Yearly subscription is, to me, the most economical way to do that. But don't think that, if you're really sitting there and you're, saying, well, what do I get this person this and get them that? I think the African Diaspora News Channel app is a perfect Christmas gift, and even a New Year gift to start off the new year, to get our people educated and staying engaged. Because remember, we have another election in 2 years, and then there's all kinds of drama and stuff going on. The Diddy case is coming up, all of these things that are going to be coming up, and we need that information. Also, right here for Demetra K, it is a great Christmas gift to share with your loved ones. So please, if you guys have that, do that. African Diaspora News Channel. Also subscribe to Demetra K, and let's get into this important topic.
Yeah, I think it's important. I saw this right before I was set to come on here because sometimes I'd be like, what the hell am I going to talk about? I don't have no clue. And I saw this. I was like, okay, well, I'll give it a shot, right? So nevertheless, uh, Edward Blum, you guys saw his face on the thumbnail. He is not a stranger to, say, dismantling things that are supposed to, or they said anyway, before black people in America, Black Americans. But of course, as Dr. Claude Anderson has told us, whenever we merge the words minority and then it got people of color and stuff like that, now it's rarely for us. Nevertheless, New York, the state of New York, via that Governor Kathy Hochul, said last year that they wanted to do a reparations study, right? They want to do a reparations study to see what is due to, I guess, descendants of slavery in New York. And that study is supposed to wrap up in a year. So I'm not even quite sure exactly when that was. I don't know if it's been quite a year yet. But this is what is said in regards to attorney Edward Blum. Now it says, Edward Blum, known for his legal challenges to race-based policies, has expressed his intent to oppose any New York state legislation that provides reparations or benefits based on race or ethnicity. He argues that such measures would violate the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. Blum has stated that any legislation that awards reparation or benefits based on race or ethnicity will be vigorously challenged in federal court, and that racial proxies, including ancestral servitude and past discrimination, will be challenged as well. So he's saying, I don't care if your ancestors were slaves. We're going to challenge that. If y'all think y'all going to get some money, y'all think y'all going to get that 40 acres and a mule, I'm going to be right there to make sure you don't. All right. So that's from the New York Sun. And it also goes on to say, Blum's stance is consistent with his previous efforts to eliminate race-based consideration in public policy. He was instrumental in the Supreme Court's 2023 decision to end affirmative action in higher education, where the court held that universities' race-based admission policies violated the 14th Amendment. There's the 14th Amendment again. It says Equal Protection Clause. In that decision, Chief Justice Roberts wrote, eliminating racial discrimination means eliminating all of it. Okay, it's very telling. So let's see. It says Blum's opposition to reparations is a part of a broader legal momentum against race-based policies following the Supreme Court affirmative action decision. For example, a lawsuit is already underway against Evanston, Illinois. Y'all remember where Evanston, Illinois issued some form of reparation, says, which has provided millions in taxpayer dollars to eligible Black residents. So I guess he's already challenging what happened in Chicago or Illinois, Evanston to be exact. Now, of course, you guys know what the affirmative action, the education component that they got rid of last year. The 6 conservative Supreme Court justices, they said, yeah, that's not going to fly because it violates the 14th Amendment. So I'm like, okay, well, what does it say exactly? And I got my handy dandy, Constitution, I guess, in my hand. So I was like, well, what exactly is the, equal rights protection under the 14th Amendment? And it says all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, and pursuit without due process of law, nor deny any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. So I was like, well, what exactly does that mean? Because I was like, okay, well, it says that it should not abridge the privileges or immunities of the citizens. So that basically means to cut or to take, from other persons. And I was like, well, what does that mean? So does it mean that he's suing under the 14th Amendment because I guess something will be taken from others to give to other people under, race issues being slavery reparations? Now, remember, we were told that the 14th Amendment benefit us, right? Because in that, it says that it also includes, formerly enslaved, people. Right now, we're citizens, sort of, kind of, not really. But all of these things that were put in place, for, via civil rights and a whole host of other things that's supposed to benefit Black people don't really benefit Black people, right? In fact, in a lot of cases, they're using these civil rights to undo these things. Like he also used the Civil Rights Clause of 1886, I think it is, where it says that you cannot be discriminated against via contract. So you cannot say because a person is this, that, the other, or in the case of the Freedom Fund, right? Y'all remember Keisha Knight Pulliam, their group, they were giving grants to Black women. He sued that. I don't think he was too successful, but he tried to use the Civil Rights Act of 86, where it says that you cannot give or discriminate with contracts because of color and things like that. So they're actually using a lot of these laws and stuff to say, hey, they told y'all that they were for Black people, but we're going to use them to say that they're actually for everybody else. So if he sues and he wins, because he's doing this on the federal level, it almost kind of means that there won't be any reparations on a federal level. So,
Yeah, I just wanted to update you. Yeah,
no, go ahead.
he was successful in stopping the women specific loan thing. He was
I
successful in that.
thought he so because I know that they put it on hold, but
Yeah,
then
it's on hold, but still, that's still a win for him. You know, they're still
but I thought
debating
they
it. But
released the funds too. I could be wrong,
yeah,
but I thought they did eventually release the funds.
yeah, no, yeah. So
Okay. So yeah, so nevertheless, Edward Blum, and he's a conservative, I should say, because I looked. He's running around, trying to stop Black people from getting, at the very least, what's ours, not affirmative action thing. We never benefited from that. It was mostly white women. But now here he is, like, y'all not getting reparations. I'm going to use the 14th Amendment and with the Supreme Court justices, But I want to say this too, because some people say, well, Trump put all those Supreme Court justices in place because it's 6-3, 6 conservative, 3 liberal. But we weren't getting reparations when it wasn't that way. There's not been any seated Supreme Court or Congress that has been in favor of reparations for Black people, whether Congress was Democrat, Republican, a mix, or whatever it is. So I guess the question I have is, so what now, Donovan? And I'm going to get to the rest of you guys' comments.
Man, well, I'm reading the comments, and they're answering the question itself. As we all know, those of us that are in the know the 14th Amendment was specific to Black people after the Civil War, and the radical Republicans were doing all these things and overriding Johnson's veto, and Johnson being a Democrat who became president after Abraham Lincoln got assassinated, he was kind of rolling stuff back to the way things used to be. So the 14th Amendment, that's why it specifically says freedmen, so that the Blacks that remained in the South do not return into servitude, because as we all know, eventually the Democrats in the South came back to power, and they started reversing all of these laws that the radical Republicans and some of the Black Republicans put in, that were governors and senators and stuff, and ran them out of the houses and stuff. It was horrific what they did. Thus became the rise of Jim Crow, the Jim Crow laws, and the sharecropping, which is another form of slavery, depending on how you look at it. And they started putting these laws into place. My question is this: we love to run around here and pat ourselves on the back about, ooh, we're the most educated, we're the most this, ooh, we're this, ooh, we're the backbone of the economy, ooh, we're the backbone of the Democratic Party, we got all this power, ooh, look, police chiefs everywhere in all these different positions, right? Where are our Black lawyers that are fighting for our rights and the specific interpretation of the Constitution? Because if a lot of you guys don't remember Justice Anthony Scalia. Anthony Scalia was a strict interpreted. What did you call it, Demetri? Back in then, they called it when you interpreted the literal interpretation of the Constitution. He was
And I
big
mean,
on it.
yeah, that's kind of where, I mean, what you said.
Yeah. So he was really, really big on that. But the question is, why isn't it that we don't have lawyers over the last 20, 30, 40 years fighting at the Supreme Court on Black issues? Where are those lawyers? We got this, and we've moved this, and we've moved the ball, and nobody could be better than us in sports. Ooh, Caitlin Clark, a white woman, is taking over, and they don't give nothing to Black women. And this. You've got Jews that have lawyers that are up there fighting in the Supreme Court for their issues. You have Asians that do it. You have Hispanics that are doing it, that are fighting. Where are the Black folks when it comes to these things? Why isn't our congressional representatives bringing these things out? We could sit here and BS and talk all this, crap all day. At the end of the day, it is on us, the average person, to hold these people accountable. Now, I'm not going to try to blow my horn or anything like that, but a good example is this. One of the POSs, and you guys look that up, of those California CBC members, he thinks he got away with what he did in hiding the reparations thing. I've shown the emails. I've gone to his office. I've done whatever I needed to do non-emotionally to put him on the spot. And now people are asking, yeah, we didn't know, he hid the reparations or he stopped the bill, because I'm holding him accountable myself and I'm putting him on blast. We all know, as Black people, roaches don't like when the light is turned on. They go scrambling. The difference between a roach and a political congressional Black caucus member is not much. Not much. I think the Black caucus member walks on two legs versus the cockroach that has several legs. It's on us. All this hollering and screaming and all this other stuff, it should not be an issue if we are calling these people out. And big ups to Chicago Red, Turn Chicago Red. That one lady, I forgot her name. We got to start calling these people out. The Steve Harveys, this, that. Something happens to us and we go on to the next issue. We have the shortest memory span, but I don't. I'm calling all of these people out, and wherever you guys are listening from and you guys are having the same problems, we have to stay on their necks and let them know you're not going to be living and feeding your family off of my tax dollars, and my family is in the streets or suffering or not getting what they need. So yes, I get the whole what this guy is trying to do, but where is the counter offer? If the state is coming for me for child support, I'm having a lawyer there to represent me. So where is our representation to fight for us? That's the questions we need to be asking. But I want to hear what you guys have to say, because you guys are actually on it. And that's where I got some of my talking points, because I didn't know what we were going to talk about today until we came on air.
Yes, indeed. And hello to everybody that's come on here, Magdalena. Thank you so much for that. Love and appreciate you. Says been saying this. He only targets anything that benefits Black men, Black women. He didn't do this when money went to Asians, illegals, Afghans, Ukrainians, and alphabets. You're absolutely right. It's Black people. So, I mean, I think we can ascertain that he is very anti-Black, and he's actually, I'm not mad at him for knowing the laws. He's using the laws that they've been saying this for us, and that's in danger and things like that. He's actually using them to undo a lot of things. But again, the affirmative action educational component of it that didn't benefit us. And I keep seeing people post articles and things saying that enrollment is down as far as Black enrollment in Harvard this year and things like that. And it's like, well, you got all those other schools that they said are for you, all the HBCUs. Why aren't you going there? Why do you need to be up and around them? For the life of me, I never understand trying to be around people who don't want to be around you. If you got to beg and plead and get on your knees and say, oh, please let me in your institution, as Carter G. Woodson said, they're not teaching you about you. They're teaching you from their point of view. And so you can't come back to the community most of the time and use that, and then when you go to those institutions, you feel away, right? Like, I don't know you guys. So why not go and learn, about yourself and learn in an environment that's catered towards you? I don't understand that. I really don't. Maybe it's just me. Adolf Vallejo, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. You say Johnny Cochran was the last good one. Yes, he actually was suing for reparations. I think it was in the 90s. And my mom, and her friends and everybody were a part of that. They're like, we're going to get reparations. And then, we never heard anything else about it. In the Mixed Radio, how you doing? It says, what's up, family? Black First from St. Louis. Edward Blum is a white dude who's part of the J community. Blum is targeting us based on race, and his people are quiet on this matter. We have no allies in this country. Yeah, never, right? We never have. But, if he's successful on a federal level, because right now he's going after states, and states can kind of do what they want. But if he gets that, if he's successful on a federal level, I guess if they ever, because they have HR 40 at the federal level. I doubt that they'll ever pick it up now, especially with the Republicans in office. But if they ever did, it sounds like he or somebody else is going to be right there saying, oh, it goes against the 14th Amendment. So it just remains to be seen. So I guess at some point while we're here, we'll have to figure out some sort of solution. Like, what do we do, right? And Tibet, how you doing? Says, hi, Sister Demetra. It's 12:27 where you're at. He says, I'll watch it live tomorrow evening, but Laugh out loud was good to catch alive. All the same, appreciate from. And was that? I'm not sure what flag that is. Is it Italy? I don't know. Forgive me.
Yeah, I'm in
I'm
the
sorry.
chat. I can't see where you're at.
Okay, got you. But wherever you're from, and I don't know all the flags, but I love and appreciate you for being here. Please get some sleep. Miss Sweet, she says, question, why do we have, I mean, sorry, who do we have in the White House that is lobbying for reparations and human rights for everyday Black people? Nobody. Not any of these Black politicians that everybody's saying they're reclaiming their time. They're coming up with all these taglines, talking, fighting with the Republican. Nobody. You know what a Keith Sweat said? Nobody. Nobody. Brina says, I'm in California. I don't know any Black attorneys or doctors. You don't find them easily if they are here. Yeah, some of the ones you find is like, you're going to make
Yeah,
me regret.
how much money do you have? I need that up front. Let me have your bank account. I'll just direct deposit. Just plead, and we just got this plea deal for you. Just deal with that, and that's pretty much it.
No. Queen Adaya, how you doing? Says somebody wanted to be accepted by the wrong people believing white is right. Yeah, and that's what that's all about. Oh, they won't let us. Oh, we can't go to this colleges. I'm going. It's like, go to your own school. That's what it's there for. That's what they say, right? They built it for you, and you don't even want to go there. You want to cry. It's the seasonless soup argument. I'm
Well,
mad
well,
because I can't sit at the counter and eat seasonless soup with you.
right. Well, Dimitri, how can we go to our own schools when they're dilapidated and they've got asbestos and black mold in them and all this other stuff, and people are paying exorbitant amounts to attend there, and it's going to the administration, the president, even Deion Sanders said it. I'm selling out tickets. They wouldn't even show him the books. And when the stuff that he asked for, there's so much corruption going on. And then think about this, you guys, and I always thought about this. If the federal government subsidizes HBCUs, and a good example, let's say they gave them $4 billion, right? Why would the HBCUs have to get $4 billion every year? And yet you've got dilapidated housing and all this other stuff. They're not really expanding. They're not doing things. And all these HBCUs are closing. So where is this money going? It's kind of like the Kamala Harris question now. How many of you guys saw the Stephen A. Smith? I hate Stephen A. Smith interview. He's asking the question, $2 billion, where did the money go? And we just let stuff go as Black people. Oh, it's all right, well, whatever. If the federal government has been subsidizing HBCUs all of these years, where has the money gone? Because I don't see it in the infrastructure.
Dundee Crazy says, hold it, let's be clear, it's not my kid. He said it's a family member, okay? And Mr. Chris, thank you so much for that. Love and appreciate you. He says, Ms. K, I would love to collaborate with you on a future broadcast. Your videos are excellent. Well, thank you so much. What would you like to talk about, if you don't mind me asking? What do you want to collaborate? What would be the topic? I'm interested. Tanya, how you doing? Says they killed Johnny Cochran. I swear they did. Hey, y'all, you know what? You might be on to something. We had like a brain tumor or something like that.
Yeah, have you noticed anybody that tries to stand up for Black people, things happen to them. It just happens to them.
You know what was so funny? Geography. Because I guess that's where I would probably learn about flags, geography or something like that. I took a geography class in 10th grade and I sucked at geography. I really did. And I did one day, I did not want to be in that class. And I said, I need to go to the bathroom. And we had a substitute teacher. She's an old white lady. I said, I need to go to the restroom. She told me no. And I was like, well, I really have to go. And she's like, no, you can't go. So I got mad and I was like, you just won't let me go because you're racist. So she started crying. She was like, I can't believe you say that. So she reached in her purse and she pulled out a wallet of her half Black grandkids. I was like, okay, yeah, that went over like a lead balloon. And I went and sat back down. So maybe that's why I didn't recognize the flag of France, because I just didn't like the class. But thank you. Still, how you doing? Says maybe he'll accidentally drink some hemlock. What the hell is that? Did Christ really come already? How you doing? It says, where are our lawyers at? That's a good question. Where are our lawyers? Now I know a lot of them are in Washington, but they showboating. Like, what are they really doing?
There's a lot of lawyers that graduate from Howard. Again, Kamala Harris, she has her just juris degree. She could be a lawyer. She was a prosecutor. You got all these people that are out there. They're there, but the fact of the matter is, when you come out of when you pass the bar and stuff, and if you don't know the right people and you didn't intern correctly and all this other stuff, you're out there. Most of these people take jobs as public defenders. They're out there. It's hard to start up your own little thing, and then if you do happen to get with a great firm, what are you litigating in a lot of cases? You're specific to a certain litigation, so a lot of them are litigating employment disputes, union busting, just things like that, and people want to make money, so they're out there making money. I know a lot of black lawyers that are in Atlanta, and guess what they're doing? Living that life like Fannie Willis, doing what they want to do. Oh, that. They don't give a damn about what's happening in the black community. They don't.
Yep, and I see a lot of y'all saying reparations needs to be lineage based. So yeah, maybe that's a way
Well,
you can go around the lawsuit.
well, yeah, it should be lineage based, but it's specific in the wording. Freedmen. If you're not a descendant of a freedman, because that's a specific group,
Mm-hmm.
that would narrow it down. Because the problem is these other tethers, and please excuse my use of that
Because
word.
I hate that word.
Yeah, please excuse my use of that word, but these other people that came here from the Caribbean or from Africa or whatever, they are making it way more difficult for freedmen, descendants of freedmen, to get reparations, because they're saying, what about us? And they're diluting the issue. This is why the Democratic Party and white people in general are saying, well, how do we know who's who in the slavery? And it's taking more time. They know. We're talking about 4 generations. They know. We know. But the thing is, it's Democratic policy to give black people nothing. You guys, if you don't like it or not, they would rather not do universal health care because that would benefit black people. They would rather see us sick and dying than give everybody universal health care. That is Democratic policy. That is white supremacy policy.
Yes, and like a lot of y'all said too, HBCUs are, or have been, I guess, founded by a lot of white people. But I'm just saying, for the sake of conversation, that's supposed to be for you, right? You get to be admitted there, at least for the time being, because there's no telling when Edward Blum will he'll go over there and say, "Oh, and this is a black university." Oh, I don't think so. So I'm just saying, those schools are supposed to be for you. You can get in there. Why not just go there? You're trying to be with people who don't want to be with you. I don't never want to be around nobody that don't want to be around me. Damien says Hall of Famer Ed Reed called out a trash HBCU, so it said they're trash. Okay.
Yeah. When he was there, the facilities, and he's asking the question, "Where's the money? Show me the money."
Right. Brenda says the fear is one of the problems. We need to really protect each other. Yep. Right now we're gonna really start to see we are all that we have. Sister Shirley, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Let's see who. Okay, so Mr. Chris, she says the future of the Black American body politic. That's what I would like to collaborate. So the body politic. That's interesting. I'd have to ponder that. Okay. Greater achievements. How you doing? And Maxima, did I say hello to you? If not, y'all busting up. Easy, Easy says D asked Blum why he playing the race card. Well, to him, he's like, I'm not playing the race card. I'm trying to get rid of it. TTT think things through. I like that. How you doing? Says that's good. Means she wasn't racist. Well, yeah, that don't mean she wasn't racist, but in the mind of a 15, 16-year-old, I thought I was really doing something, right? Like, I'm going to the bathroom. I'm just going to call her a racist. I was like, yeah. She just was bawling. I was like, oh my God.
What did your mom do about it? Did she discipline you? And
no, I never got that far. I just sat my black ass down, okay? And not, I don't even know what we were talking about that day. Lindsay says we need to talk about how much money Black American people are making white people in sports every year. We need to look at that and talk about that to open up people's eyes. But you know what though, they're not gonna boycott. We talk about, you know, the athletes and stuff. They make it too much, you know, good money. Like Farrakhan said, they highly paid slaves. They're not gonna, you know, get up off the plantation per se. But you're on to something definitely, and we'll get to that at the end. Let's see who else is on here. Thandi says, question: did anyone hear that those drones are possibly searching for nuclear materials? I've heard a whole lot of stuff. I'm thinking that them drones, if they're aliens, they're probably like, listen, y'all having a hard time getting rid of white supremacy. We gonna help you out. I don't know. I'm just thinking. I could be wrong though. Queen of Diet says attorneys are under Babylon crown. Yep. Mr. Chris says Stephen A. Smith talking politics is like taking your car to get fixed by a gynecologist.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But you can't discount what he's saying. So that's what I'm saying. I agree with you in regards. I can't stand the man, but you can't discount common sense. If he's talking common sense, where's the money? 2 point something million in a campaign that they knew she was going to lose. Where's the money? That's what I'm saying. We give so many passes to people and we don't ask the right questions. Can't stand Stephen A. Smith, but what he said is correct. Where's the money?
Y'all crazy. 40 at TCO. No, we don't say that. Y'all say that word. I don't say that word. It's not nice. Matthew, how you doing? Says it's a shame how our founding president said reparations 40 acres and a mule for slavery and have it paid up. We're coming for our check. Oh yeah, they're gonna give it to us because I think that's what the aliens are up there for. They like, okay, y'all keep thinking we playing, right? Y'all gonna do right by Black people. Something tells me that that's what those drones are.
Yeah, and the funny thing is they're only talking about the drones in the Northeast. How come they're not talking about the drones off the coast of California, San Diego, and the Orange County area, and the ones off of Florida? Now, notice what I just said there. That makes a perfect triangle. What is going on?
Be nice. Intuitively wise, how you doing? Says the lawyers are making money off the pipeline to prison from Black community. Yes, did you also hear that we have President Joe Biden, who was leaving out of here and who was pardoning people left and right, except for the right people. He also pardoned the kids for cash, judges that sent children to jail for money. They made millions upon millions of dollars for sending children, one as young as 10, to jail. And one of the judges was supposed to be sentenced, I guess, to 2028. They went in there, I think 2012 or something like that. I don't know. They were on house arrest after the pandemic or during the pandemic. Well, Joe Biden decided to pardon them. So he doesn't have a problem with children being sold up the river to full on prison, right? And judges.
As long as it's not his kids. As long as it's not his kids.
Yeah, you know, and the judges getting paid millions of dollars to do it. They're free. But you got people, you know, like some Black Panthers who are in federal prisons that have been there forever, you know, under erroneous.
I'm going to cut you off. Sada Akur, I saw a video this morning on that about Sada Akur. Why haven't he pardoned her? I think it was her video.
Shakur, yeah. Sada Shakur, H.R. Brown is a whole lot of them, you know, and it's like, but where are, you know, your Jasmine Crockett's? And, you know, all these other people, your Maxine Waters, your James Clyburn, all those people. Where are all these so-called Black politicians? Why aren't they, you know, because we saw Jasmine Crockett. She was going hard in the paint for Hunter Biden. Oh, well, he loves his son. What was you doing? But you ain't said nothing for your own people. See, that's why I say y'all be listening to these people and y'all listen to the style. Y'all don't listen to what they're saying or what they're not saying. Hell, she Black. In the words of Tiffany Henry, you're Black. Y'all Black. But yet, do you want to tell Biden, hey, I know you're getting ready to leave, but is there a way that you could pardon some people who look like me who really probably shouldn't be there? They won't do it. You know, what would it hurt him to do that? I mean, like I said, some of these people been in jail decades and they're like in their upper 70s and their 80s. Like, but you letting out judges who sold kids up the river and became millionaires is crazy. The Rock, how you doing? Says Demetri, don't be like that. No, don't say that word. That ain't a word. I just don't like the word. Miss Sweet says Democratic Party to give Black people nothing. Let's see. Larry says we can get the money if we boycott sports, making white people more than anyone else in sports. Yeah, that's why I said you're close. We're gonna get to it, but you're very close. FM says, y'all know I hate that word. Says are called that based on their actions, not by being immigrants. Tethers come here to undermine FBAs. Okay. Uh, okay. Easy. He says these folks know they're using these immigrant tools to offset reparations progress. Oh, absolutely. That's been going on. And Rodney says, I live in a neighborhood in Atlanta, Cascades community. So many black boule lawyers. Right. And what are they doing? Are they like, hey, we'll take on Edward Blum. We'll do it. Well, where are they at? They're like, it doesn't affect me, so I'm not going to deal with it. NMX Radio says we have a right to call out the office code immigrants rather than they're black or non-black who show disrespect towards needs to be called that. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm not telling y'all not to do it. I'm just saying I don't like to do it. Mad Dog, how you doing? Says HBCU are not black anymore. Yeah, that's what I understand. There's more and more of everybody else going there, but those some of our people dying to get into these Ivy League, universities for what? So you can be reminded of who you are every day to them. I don't know. Thunder says, I've been trying to push young black men and women into police, sheriff, EMS, or the medical field. Yeah, those things are needed. FM, did I say hello to you? If not, hello. It says California CBC are you crazy? They might be, I don't know. Brenda Lee, it says Freeman FBA are deserving of reparations, but many black immigrants and Pan-Africanists prefer to play ignorant. Yeah. There are a lot of them that do not want us to have it, or they're like, why can't we get it? It's like, well, why can't you go back and get it from your government, from the place you fled from? They can give it to you, but y'all didn't have the struggles that our ancestors had over here, so you shouldn't come over here and want to benefit from that. But it is a distraction. That I will agree, because just like damn well you shouldn't be getting reparations from America. Get it from where you came from. GP, how you doing? Says I honestly, he says I honestly think there's a hidden hand behind the system of politics and is an illusion. Why has every politician that ever stood for and empower black people ended up deleted? I'm just saying, well, the answer is in the question, because they stood up for black people, and it's not even necessarily a problem of standing up for black people. The problem is when you start to awaken black people and black people start saying, I didn't know that. Thank you for that information. Curtis, how you doing? Says the Mormon Church in Utah City got all the historic and their dungeons. You said they know who's who. Okay, so you said they know who's who. Raven, how you doing? Says the black grassroots in California were the ones who rattled the cage for 7 long years in California that made black politicians take up a study and move the bill forward. These platforms and other nationwide need to collaborate with black grassroots to strengthen our reparations fight. I totally agree. That's why I'm trying to do my part, making videos and things like that to highlight, especially in California, because that's where I'm from, what the assembly people did. Yeah, I'm doing my best to highlight that. Like, yo, this is what they did.
We've kicked Demetra out of California, so let me give you a. Demetra's out of there. Out of there.
And it's gone to hell in the handbag ever since I left. Dear self, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Daryl says, I'm not FBA. Understood your point, Donovan. I am from Caribbean, and we are suing the British, French, Spanish for reparations. But a lot of Caribbean people sabotage FBA claim, which is stupid. Yeah, so there you go. Like you said, they're going to get it from your people.
Right, and either way, if they get it, there's no way the United States could, it set a precedence, and there's no way the United States could go to the world court and say, well, we're not giving it to our black folks when the precedent has been set. So we got to work strategically with each other to get these things done. If we get it here in California, you guys and the rest of the states, we've already done the study. It's already done. You ain't got to waste money and time with the study. You might tweak it a little bit depending on what your state is, but everything has already been done. All you guys need to do is get a vote and a signature. And if you guys get it, then it sets a precedence. Now every state could adopt it and get it. We don't need a federal study when California's already completed the study. It went through committee, it went through financing. It is done. So again, and if we get it as a nation, then the other nations could use that precedent to fight for their reparations, and you can take it to the World Court. Malcolm X said that a lot of times. You know, human rights. We don't even have human rights. But how can America sit here talk about human rights and violations? We need to take our issue to the World Court. You can't talk about democracy and you won't respect the World Court. It's going to expose the United States for the fact of what it is or isn't.
Dear self, he says, I missed the podcast. What do you think of Daniel Penny? So Daniel Penny, in what regard? Because there's a lot of things that he's done, but specifically what? Now answer that. Ernest, how you doing? He says, yes, call money laundering. Okay, Joanne, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Long time no see. He says, common sense is a superior sense. Is it? That, I never heard it that way before. First, Saba Harvest, how you doing? Says, true reparations will come once foundational Black Negro, Afro-American freedmen gain universal courage in liberating our physical bodies from the greater good of our people, or for the greater good of our people. Why is G. Zimmerman still walking around breathing? And many have asked that question, and I'm just going to leave it at that. One who cares says, we have them here also. St. Louis, so you're talking about the drones. Brenda, he says, Tariq gives a definition that makes sense. It applies to those that undermine FBA efforts. So, guys, so you're talking about the word. Yeah, I guess, like I said, I don't have a problem with anybody else saying it. I'm not going to say it. But I agree with the sentiment. Maximally says the aliens come down finally. If they are real, most likely won't need no more money. Yeah, I'm just interested in want to know why they coming. I mean, I have an idea, especially if you read The Fall of America. It's when it talks about the mother plane, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. The United States government knows why they're here. Let's put it that way. Okay, it ain't a secret. They know why they're here. We've heard them say that, yes, we know that there are aliens. We know that there are spaceships. We know that there is a mothership out there, and it has little bitty planes in the Fall of America called baby planes. And the mothership and the planes can come to Earth and get resources and go back up. So the United States government said the same thing that was written, I think, in 1963 by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in The Fall of America, the same exact thing. So for us to be running around here, I don't know, they might be drones. They're trying to dismiss them as planes and stars and things like that, but they really don't know just yet. We've even heard people from like Trump and other people say, oh, well, we're going to take them down. It's like, well, then why haven't you already? Because if they are what you think they are, you know better. And that's all I'm going to say. You stupid.
Flag on the field. Flag on the field. No, I agree with you, but I want you guys to think about this. See, these are the questions we don't ask. When 9/11 hit, oh, our intelligence is so wrong and stuff. We got to give the intelligence community more money. Billions of dollars was given to the intelligence community. Oops, went into Afghanistan and Iraq by mistake. $13 trillion was spent during these Middle Eastern wars. You mean to tell me the most powerful country in the world, technology and all, is going to sit there with a straight face and tell you, the American people, they don't know what these things are? Come on, y'all. We got to think, use our common sense. They don't know what those things are. We got satellites that could read a match book from space, and they don't know what those things are. But yet, watch. We need to allocate $3 trillion to the thing of find out what these aliens are. And they're going to allocate the money, and then the money gets stolen. I mean, come on, y'all. Come on. I mean, how many times are we going to fall for this stuff? I just will not believe it. They cannot tell you what drones or whatever this stuff is what it is. Don't believe your lying eyes. Don't believe your common sense. Come on, y'all.
Mr. Chris, thank you so much again for the donation. He says Biden will go down as one of the biggest hypocrite, demagogue, president, politician to ever exist. You won't have no arguments with me on that. Let me go back to this. Here we go. Dear Selfie, says Demetria and Donovan, I missed the podcast. Did you ever speak about Daniel Penny with the Trump photo out? For me, it was a spit in the face of Black Americans who voted for him. I can't co-sign it. And that photo doesn't bother me. And I'm not saying I voted for Trump, but I'm saying that photo does not bother me because I'm not surprised by that. They're white men that are congratulating another white man for taking the life of a black man. Is that rare? Has that never happened before? You know what I'm saying? Like that's I want to be careful in how I say this because I can't say all that I really be wanting to say on here. Oh, but if you was behind closed doors with me, um, it's not a surprise. Like I know people get all worked up. Oh, look at that! Did you think Trump wasn't gonna vote? That sounds like Kamala now, right? Did
That's
you
it.
think? Did you think Trump wasn't gonna have a Daniel Penny up at the skybox it was an Army Navy game? Did you think he wasn't gonna have him there? You know what I mean? There's a lot of black people too. I mean, we're gonna be mad. There's a lot of black people who agree with the verdict. A lot of them. They think it was the right thing. I'm not one of them, but that's what they do. That is what they have done to black people since they have come into contact with black people, and that is sometimes hunt black people for sport and play. Now, some people call Daniel Penny a hero, but for those of us who have seen this before, we know he is anything but, because he didn't have to take that man's life. He could have held him down until help came, but he decided to choke life from that man's body. And yes, he is being celebrated for it. But as I said in my not so humble opinion, I don't think Daniel Penny will get a moment's rest when all the pats on the back are gone and you go, boy, you're such a hero and all that. When all that is quiet and he sits with himself and the rumination of what he did to that black man on the subway who needed help and not choked, that's when the conviction takes place. Because self-conviction of doing something you know you shouldn't have got away with, oh yeah, you be better off in a prison cell. So that's why that photo don't bother me, because I'm not surprised.
Yeah, and I, and that's the thing. They do these things to get us emotional because they know black people are very emotional people. And when you become emotional, ladies, you're irrational. Okay, I'm just saying it's a fact. You're irrational because you're going off of how you feel versus the situation at hand logically. But we're not that far removed from lynchings and all that other stuff. Remember, there are pictures that still exist. When there was a lynching of a black man or a black woman, did they not bring their children in a picnic basket? I think they did.
Yeah. Yeah. FM, yes. That is okay if it applies. That is okay. Okay. Trust me. I have one, okay? But I don't like that word. I like we can't even say that word, which is why you put, the thing. Anyway, Iron Williams said they allowed an innocent man to be executed by the state, so why would they pardon anyone black? Right. Well, because we know the system was never designed for us, but I'm talking about all these black politicians that be screaming and hollering about justice and this, that, and the other. I mean, what's taking so long? Biden's going to be out of there on January 20th. We have like a month at this point.
Yeah, I mean, how many of you guys forgot Kamala Harris concealed evidence that would have freed a man that was on death row? Remember that? So that's what I'm saying. Why is it okay in this situation, but then it's an outrage in another situation?
Right. Thunder says, also, I noticed in Costco, they've been selling a lot of preparation supplies, gold and silver. I'd imagine so. Intermix Radio says, what about the word akata? I don't like that word either. I know that's what they call us, but it's not a good word either way. I'm not telling anybody else what to say. I'm not telling y'all not to say it. Y'all can say it whenever, however you want. I'm just not something that I want to say. Just for whatever reason. But you feel free to say it as you please, as it is your right to do that. All right, let me skip down. Mr. Christian says bootleg lawyers
says
are
that, but before the show, she said, "Don't you be cooning on the show when we get on there, when I get on the air and stuff like this, or else I get threatened." You got no, I'm joking.
Yeah, Donovan gets called everything but a child of God. But if it's a term of endearment from me, okay? If I don't call you a mother effer at least once a week, then I don't care about you. That's the truth, okay? It's with love. I'm telling you. Ernest says it's just called money. I think it meant laundering. Okay. So, all right, I got to skip down. Benjamin Crump, what Benjamin Crump gonna do? He's a civil rights attorney. He goes to the money, and I'm not mad at him, but Benjamin Crump is in that boule crowd as well. And Jamie, how you doing? Says everyone gets rich and forgets. You ain't lying. Buckhorse says my are real foundational Black Hebrew Americans, the grassroots. Okay. Joanne says tether attachment, and they are attaching and attacking what is old FBA. They need to take their problems to their government. That I agree with. I agree that they should not be attaching their issues over here. They should be staying where they're at and fighting the good fight where they come from, just like we fighting, over here. So no argument for me. All right, so let's see. Thank you, Miss Sweets. All right, going on down. Yes, indeed, Mike. Brina says you're doing a wonderful job, both of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you to all my moderators for being here. Love and appreciate you. I'm gonna go back to
Yeah,
Cali.
real quick, how many of you guys heard of that Boston City Councilwoman? She was undocumented. She was, whatever, and she's just been indicted for federal corruption or something like that. Whatever she was doing, right?
I
Notice
think
that.
I heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you noticed the Biden Justice Department is going after all of these Black so-called leaders and doing, because I'm not saying what she did was right, but what I am saying is what she did and a lot of what these Black mayors and stuff are getting caught up in is no different than what a lot of the white politicians are doing. Why is it that we think we could do what they do and get away with it? But I want to bring this up. Curtis Price says, seems like every immigrant comes to the United States, all or something, they get a heart in their brain to speak, but don't speak up in their own homeland. And that's always been my issue. They come here and it's all about, oh, we got to be together. We got to do this. We got to do that. We got to, we. But you're in this country when you should be saying that same thing in another country. It's just mind boggling.
Yes, indeed. The Rock, you asked me about Houston. Basically, how is it? It's fair to middling. I don't hate it. I hated it first. I don't
How's
hate
that
it.
HIV/AIDS rate going?
I wouldn't know nothing about that. I stay away from them people. I don't know nothing about no HIV, none of that. It's okay. I was talking to my nephew the other day, they're in California. They were without electricity for almost a week because they had to cut it off because of the high winds and they were afraid of the firestorm. So they purposely cut off their electricity for 5 days. And I thought, so it's kind of the same. If I were to go back to California, I could be, because fire season is not even really fire season in California, but Malibu got towed up. So I think they were afraid of the winds and stuff, so they turned off. So I don't know. Houston it's Houston. It's Houston. Maximus says, forget about what state you're in. He says, where is your family from, and take it from there. Got you. Brenda, he says, yes, even our lineage. He says, Naju have gone through the UN World Court to go after the British for reparations. Yes. Yeah, the UN basically say, yeah, you guys owe a debt even over here, right? And called out the horrors that they do to Black people. All right, let me skip down because I know there's a lot of comments. Child of God, it says, from a super PAC by politicians to write the legislation, the bill that's already going to be passed. That's how every other group operates. They don't make any announcements. They just do it. You're on the money.
Yeah, but what you're forgetting is they can't do that unless they have representation fighting for them to bring it to the floor. You've got to have somebody to do that. When Joe Biden came into office, you had 2 Asian senators. The Senate was 50-50. They went to him and said, look, if you don't give us what we want, none of your legislation is going to get through. We're going to tie it up. You don't need a majority to be strong. Even in chess, a pawn is a strong piece if it's moved intelligently. And that's what the Asians did in that case. Joe Biden knew he had to play ball with them and give them what they wanted, or none of his legislation would get through. It wouldn't get through. We have all of the 63 members of the CBC, and there's only 4 votes that change the House. Only 4. And yet we can't get anything done in regards to Black people. make it make sense. If I had 68 people and I went to Nancy Pelosi and I said, "Look here, madam, if you don't do what we need for my people, none of your legislation is passing. I've got 68 votes right here in my pocket as the leader of this group." We don't get that.
Maxima says FBA Afro Americans, American blacks, Black Americans not real on paper. It doesn't exist. I need to look into your background and find who you are, and only then can you represent it to the court. Got you. Uh, Reggie, you crazy. Sagittarius says there are aliens here, but them drones are not. I don't know what they are. I haven't seen them. But to be honest with y'all, I don't even be up late like that to even be looking outside. I mean, if I am up late, I don't be looking out the window. But maybe I will just in case, you know.
Go look at the movie Fire in the Sky.
I've seen it once. I didn't like that. Okay, that I don't think that man made that up. All right, let's see. Liz says government has an alliance with other beings. They got a lot of technology from them. You know what? I don't doubt it. Tito, how you doing? Easy says I don't sweat the things this lying government say. Right. Damon says the drones are BS distraction. Stay focused. Yep. I'm with you. Fast Not Feelings. How you doing? Says peace and love, family. They know exactly what it is. It's drones. You can find one on the shelf. Yeah. I know people with drones. My nephew scared the hell out of me with a drone one time. I didn't know what it was. It was just descending down on top of me. I was walking my niece around the block, and I looked up at the corner of my eye, saw this thing. I now know it's a drone, and it was like circling us and hovering. And I snatched my niece. I'm surprised I didn't snatch her poor little arm out of socket. And I'm running around the car, and I'm like, what the hell? And then my nephew comes outside laughing. I'm like, that was not funny, okay? I thought they was coming to get Demetra K. I thought it was Donovan.
It's funny. I was watching on YouTube, and there's a channel you can watch where the guy has a drone, and he traffics the blades around the country and stuff like that. So a lot of people want to be anonymous in what they're doing. And this guy flies it for 15 minutes or whatever the thing is, and he goes and I guess harasses the ladies that are working the blade and stuff, and they be running from the drone. It's real funny stuff, but yeah.
Hey, Jai Turkey, how you doing? Says I didn't vote for Biden, Trump, or Kamala at all. You would be like a lot of people. FM says exactly why are you shocked? Learn your history. So okay, I don't know what that means. In fact, some fellow says Trump set up JD Vance with that photo. Notice Trump family is not seen at all with that criminal penny. Trump is not running for president, but Vance may be in 4 years. Yeah, well, I saw, I think it was Vance and Trump together with him in a photo. Yeah, and I saw one with Vance by himself with it. So, got you, Donovan. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. And I'm surprised that we're surprised. Like, oh my God, you see Trump? It's like, really? DSB, thank you so much. Love and appreciate you for that. Yeah, I'm not surprised at all. The Rock says I played in the Army Navy game all 4 years at the Bevel Academy. All right, now Iron Will, and if the roles were reversed, we already know that wouldn't have gone down like that. No, of course not. Of course, talking about Daniel Penny and Jordan Neely. In the mixed radio says the New York mayor and New York governor was defending Daniel Penny, who's a brown stain in a pair of white drawers. Yeah, they were. That's what says a lot of people who were. Yeah, Matthew says stop being shocked, and we blacks should lock arms and move for self. Yep. Raven says Dr. Henry Clark said we have no friends in America until the majority of us grasp what's going on. Code and move in unity. The kick in our collective asses will continue. You are right about that.
You guys heard about the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio was shut down. The airspace over there was shut down because the drones were over there. How many of you guys know Area 51 isn't the Area 51 it used to be? When they moved a lot of stuff, the alien stuff was moved to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. So that could be a reason. Maybe they're coming to get their people. They're going to do a breakout.
Yeah. Diane, you might be right. And FME said the same thing. I don't know. I just don't think you could do that to somebody and sleep at night. You know what I mean? I remember when they were trying to storm Area 51 and I signed up to do it. I was like, Let us see those aliens. Let's ride. We ride at dawn. Then I changed my mind. Uh, yeah, astrological thinker says I see a lot of unhinged brothers out here as well. Ooh. Facts and Feelings says what Daniel Penny did was was telling every black Army, Navy, and a Marine person that's serving with someone like him, don't bother putting your life on the line for a guy like that. Bad idea to celebrate, to be celebrating him. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't celebrate him at all, but that's what they do. It's what they do. They they're the kind that like to go hunting, and sometimes people are not off the menu per se. You know what I mean? That's like that movie Surviving the Game with Ice-T when he was homeless and they paid him some money to come up to the lodge or whatever, and then they end up, they tried to anyway, and Ice-T kind of like turned into Rambo on him. I might have to watch that movie again. That guy from Texas says he won in the court of law but lost in the court of public opinion. Yeah, there's a lot of people, and I should say too, of all backgrounds, who do not like Daniel Penny. They're like, he's a murderer. I don't care what the court said. He will always be a murderer. So, absolutely. All right, 5 rings. How you doing? Says facts. They held, lynching in churches. That's what they did. And there's postcards and still you can still see stuff like that from back in the day of them happy and smiling. I think it's a place in is it Indiana, where there's a mural that's painted and you could see the person's feet, and then you see all of them staring up, and it's actually it's from a photo of an actual lynching. So, Polo Stylist, how you doing? Polo Stylist, stop Polo Styles. How you doing? It says far removed. He says 5 FBA men have been lynched in the last 60 days. 2 were truck drivers. Yeah. So no, we are right in the same era, right? Tech Phoenix, how you doing? Says they put those lynching pictures into postcards too. There you go. I should have read your comment. Okay, so let me skip down. Who haven't I seen yet? Ray the King, how you doing? Says, why is there even a study? They didn't need a study to cut a check for these illegal immigrants. Yeah, because they know they could play with us. Well, I think they learned that this last election that maybe not so much anymore. But in the past, they're like, yeah, we could play with them. We'll tell them to give a study. Then we'll give them a little fish fry. We may even give some hot sauce next time. And, how about we break out the Torker bus onto the polls and they'll be happy, it'll be all right. But now it's like, yeah, because like you said, what do you need to study? It's even on a very basic level. If you heard the story, Black people were kidnapped and or sold, put on these big giant ships and made these voyages for months on end, put in these ships
against their will. You got to put that in there. Against their will. They didn't come here willingly.
I said kidnapped. Put into these ships, one by one, like stuffed together like matches in a box, brought over here, made to do back-breaking labor, and if they refuse, they had horrible things happen to them. The end. Even if you heard that, wouldn't that be enough to say, yeah, I think they owed something? Leaving out all of the other horrible things, so they know that's just what we're gonna just. Here's the carrot. Sunday says, DKA, I just saw one of the best things in my life. There was an older lady giving her rendition of Santa Baby by Eartha Kitt dressed as Catwoman. Oh my God, I was in heaven for a few minutes. Yes, that's a classic rendition, Santa Baby. Well, I hope that gave you some joy this Christmas season. Sky Dancer, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Ernest says Kamala is the wickedest vice president ever. Well, damn. All right. Astrological thinker says there has been an uptick of Black politicians getting caught up when we know there are way more white ones involved in the corruption. Yeah, I think they probably stopped wanting to play ball. And so they're like, okay, well, here you go. We're going to, get you caught up. Yeah, because there's a lot of Black politicians like, damn, what's really going on? You can't deny it. You really have to question. Jive Turkey says, when white supremacists finish with their tools, they break them. I've been hearing that. Bob Blah, how you doing? Says someone made a point about Blum not taking cases that benefit us, only against things that other groups wanted from us. We need some black lawyers to go after him. Grounds his discriminatory in practice. Well, some could look at it from a naked eye that it's discriminatory in practice, but he's only using the law, the Constitution that they said was for us. He's only using that to undo the things that are for us. So I'm gonna get to the bottom, and then we can talk about some solutions. As it is about time for us to leave. Easy says the reason no black lawyers countering Blum is because reparations may sabotage their careers. It might. Mr. Christie says Phoenix is the landing spot for upward mobility. Okay, it's hot. It's hot in Phoenix. But I do know some people there. Yoko, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Cooking with Miss D. How are you, Lady Diana? What is going on with you? All right. So who else came on here? Miss D. How are you? You know, that's what they call me, Miss D. They've been calling me Miss D for a long time, even when I was kind of young. Miss D. So it kind of stuck. Reggie, how you doing? Says thank you for staying on the Congressional Legislative Black Caucus members who betrayed us in Cali. It says double R from CJEC. Oh yeah, I'm gonna cover one of them once a week. I got Corey Jackson in the spotlight this week. The videos I'm gonna make. Oh yes, he's getting the spotlight because we cannot let up. We cannot say, oh, they did it. Let's go back to business as usual, because they need to pay at the voting booth for what they did to us. I got to be clear on how I say that. Sherry Price, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. He says we have proof we are who we are, FBA. Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, I think I'm getting to the bottom. I love to read every one of you guys' comments. Spud McKenzie, I ain't heard that name in a long time. How you doing? You remember Spud McKenzie, Donovan?
Yes, the dog. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And Alice from Strodes.
Mm-hmm. Iron Williams says Demetra thought Big Brother was coming for her. I did. I was scared. I was scared. I was like, this is it. They found me. Sherry says, I just hate none of our people did not try to come to his defense and help this man. If this was their family members, they would have wanted someone to help them. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say, well, there's a lot of black people on that subway that defended Daniel, said that he was a hero and he protected him. But it's like, from what? Words, mental illness. You know, you choke a man to death for 6 minutes. I would think as a Marine, you're trained to know when to say when, you know. But yeah, Miss Sweet says Independence Day Part 2. It was Independence something because I was scared. Oh my God, there's a lot of comments on here. Can we get to the bottom? Natasha, how you doing? Says the Daniel Penny picture with Trump look like they're giving tribute to the old days of Rome. Every white murderer of black people taking pictures with the president now. Yeah, I mean that's them though. That's them.
But see, here's my problem. Where do you guys think you live? I mean, come on, y'all. We're smarter than this. We have black skin. They are from Europe or wherever they're from. We live in the most racist country in the world. We live in the most violent country in the world. Why do we think we live somewhere else? I don't get it, Demetra. I don't understand why we think, you know what? Stop watching these BS movies that's nothing but strict and fantasy and start living in reality. We live here. And it just frustrates me that I understand people want to live in a world where kumbaya and how it's supposed to be. But that isn't the world we live in. You know, I just wish people would just accept that fact and accept the fact that if you are a single person out here in the modern age and you are raising a family and you don't have a man or a partner of some kind with you, and you don't have any kind of defense mechanisms to protect your family, you are making a big mistake. This is the world we live in today. You got migrants that are taking over apartments in Aurora, Colorado. These are the facts. And I just want you guys to be safe and stop falling for that democratic stuff that we were taught from our parents and our grandparents. Everybody else for us. We got to speak up for everybody else and let them go first because we got it made. No, we are in dire straits right now, people. We as black people, we're in dire straits. No longer can we let other people jump the line and get ahead of us. We have to make a stand now, right now.
Yeah, well, you said Sister Mitra. He says, B, you was rocking that sky piece. Now, what sky piece was that? Ooh, I'm getting loopy now. Okay, so let's see. Common Man, how are you? Glad that you can join us. We're about to be getting out of here. It says your mind is a landing spot for upward mobility. I like that. I think that drone thought my head was a landing spot. And Sherry says, don't forget Elise the cow. Elsie the cow. Yes. Buckner says, check Ice-T surviving the game. Y'all gonna love it. Yeah, that's a good movie. What came out in like the early 90s,
Yeah,
I think it was.
very hard to find. Very hard to find on DVD or Blu-ray. You might see some VH1s in the thrift stores or something, but very hard to find.
Yep. Demetrius, how you doing? Says, to scare us as usual, I had to defend an elderly woman from a white man, and our people was mad and defended him because he's white. Shaking my head. 2022, this happened. Oh yeah, you'll see that a lot. It's sad, but you will see that.
And speaking of the world we live in today, let's talk about what happened in Chicago. And big ups to the baby boomers there that were the real radicals and the real revolutionaries. Those people didn't forget who they were. Those older people are giving that man the business. And if you guys watched this weekend, or I think it was yesterday, when they were talking about the budget, they let the council people and the aldermen speak, and you saw so many baby boomers. This one lady, she's been an alderman for over 25 years, and she was bringing up all the points of why they should not vote for the bill, but she voted for the bill anyway. So we got to keep the fight up, because you've got people out there that are making sure that their nest and their families are taken care of. So let's not forget, it isn't just one area. We're talking, we got to come together as United States and get these people that ain't doing the work up out of there. She said all of that good stuff just to vote for the bill anyway.
Right. Yes, Common Man, you have to come catch us on time. Be here tomorrow. I know the last couple of Wednesdays, I think I wasn't here the Wednesday before. I don't know. I'm gonna be here, but this Friday I won't be here. I have something to do. But I'll make sure I'm here tomorrow. Sherry says, I've seen where one of the dreamers was talking about that Trump might let them stay. She was a CEO. She was able to come here and achieve her dream. A lot of us have been here forever and have not gotten to achieve ours. Says the white man better watch out, because there will be the low man on the totem pole right next to us. Yeah.
Let me answer that. I think I saw that same exact video. What it is you guys got to understand, do you guys actually believe all of these people are going to be thrown out of the country? Because Republicans and Democrats both want, because they're both corporate owned, they both want this illegal immigration, because they ain't going to pay you, an American, $35 an hour and a union when they could pay somebody $7 an hour, $7.25. But they come together as a group, right? You don't think Donald Trump is going to strike a deal with the Dreamers? He's going to strike a deal. There's no doubt about it. He can't. There's just no way he's going to deport all of these people out of it. The criminals he's going to get rid of. The problem people he's going to get rid of. But they want these people, the people that are here. The Republican can always say the Democrats let him in here, but it's going to be the Republicans that's going to let him stay. You better believe it.
I thought I saw something where he said that he was all right with the Dreamer staying.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He's absolutely right with them staying. Absolutely.
Yeah, I saw that.
But you got to think about this. How many people that have come under the Biden administration that are Dreamers' age, that are about our age, and they're going to claim, oh, I'm a Dreamer? There's going to be a lot of them.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to get out of here, but I just want to say, at the end of the day, we are going to have to organize. We're going to have to unify. That's what everybody else does. We've done it before. We have done this before. Our ancestors have done it before. They have organized. They practice group economics. They've built they've educated, they've built, hospital, schools, you name it. We've done it before. So it's not something we cannot do again. You think about the Asian, who is what? I don't know. I think they're about 8, 9% of the population now. That wasn't that way a couple of years ago, but they're the wealthiest class in America. And it didn't take them long to get anything. The hate crime bill came just like that. And that's because the legislators and all them, they know that the Asians, they move as one, whether they're from China, Vietnam, Japan, whatever. They usually move as one people. So they know that they're going to have to do for them. Us, we have been and still are. We're very disjointed in almost everything we do, whether it's politically, it's gender, it's you. Hell, most of the time we can't even stay under the same roof for one another. I got to have my own house. Why, you got family members struggling. And I know some of them family members are a lot, but I'm just saying, in the larger scheme of things, those other groups of people know how to put their differences aside to get what they need. Dr. Claude Anderson, he talks about it all the time. That's how we're going to build, right? We have to put our stuff together. We have to move collectively politically. Move away from the Democrats and Republicans. Say, okay, here is our party, or here is where we're going to put our vote, right? We're all going to do it, but not like we've been doing it with the Democrats, but doing it in that we benefit. Because as he also said, we're the only group of people that vote as a block for our own oppression. We have to stop doing that. And the minute we start doing it is when we're going to start to hear, and you know what? Damn what Edward Bloom is saying. Damn what he's saying. These black people, and they already know. They know that we are a force, but we are not a force as long as we're like this. We become a force when we're like that. They know that. That's why you have all these efforts, you name it, to stop black thought from becoming action. This is an effort that they've had for a very long time. So, like when I see stuff about Jay-Z and Puffy, I'm not saying those things aren't important somewhere, or even the Drake and Kendrick thing, the black woman hates the black man, or vice versa, and all these other things, even Travis Hunter. That's a distraction. We get caught up in that stuff and not caught up in, okay, we could get together on these blogs and talk about what Travis is doing with his woman that, it has nothing to do with us. Can we get together and talk about moving the ball for black people? You would think that we could, but unfortunately, they keep us distracted with low-hanging fruit. So that's what we're going to have to do in order to make reparations possible. Because I guarantee you, the Asians, the Japanese, rather, they've already got reparations. There's been other groups of people here that's gotten reparations, but I guarantee you right now, if all the Asians together says, well, we've been through something here in America, and they can even say, well, because of what Trump did to us during the pandemic, we need some reparations because we were harmed. There's no doubt in my mind that Congress, whether it's a Democrat or Republican Congress, will move on that and get them what they're asking for, because they know if they don't, they're going to pay for it at the ballot box. And that's why Malcolm X said it's either the ballot or the bullet. If you don't use the ballot the right way, well, then there's the other.
And if you're thinking about that, you made a good point. No, we got to get out of here, but you got to think about it. They're letting people break our laws, come over here. They're giving them housing and cash money, which is that's reparations, the cash money, but they won't give you cash money. You can't make your rent. You could barely buy food. They're giving them cash money, which is basically reparations, so that they could be all right. They could make their own decisions with that money. A lot of them are opening up businesses right there on the damn street. But when it comes to you as a black person, well, we gonna sit and pray, and the Lord, when you good and dead, Negro, when you a good and dead nigga, you gonna go up to heaven, and you'll get that Mercedes in heaven. If you make it to heaven, why would you need a Mercedes? If you make it to heaven, why would you need a mansion? We gotta stop, y'all.
Absolutely. So anyway, we are going to be back, Thunder, and thank you so much for giving all the great advice up in the chat about the batteries and the radio. I have it. I've learned how to work it a little bit more, but yeah, it definitely comes in handy is some gangster stuff happens, right? Common Man says when unemployment drops below 3%, say goodbye to Section 8 and social services. Well, unfortunately, I guess fortunately, I don't benefit from either one of them, but let me be eligible for a food stamp. I'm sure gonna be like I'm eating better today, damn it. EBT. I sure will. Uh
To me, food always tastes better when somebody else is paying for it.
You ain't lying. Mr. Chris, thank you so much. Once again, love and appreciate you. Says the black media must collaborate to be a voice. Yeah. And those of us in this realm of black media, we have done that. And I will say this, they'll never give us the credit, and we don't care. I don't care if they give us the credit. But black media, now when I say black media, I mean y'all in the comment section, because a lot of y'all got platforms, but a lot of y'all, the commentary and just coming here and with bouncing ideas off of each other. All of us, we made a difference in the selection cycle. We did, and nobody's ever going to be able to take that away from us. The other thing is, though, we can't let off the gas. We cannot say, well, woo, we did it. We did it, Joe. We did it. That was Kamala when they were. We can't do that. We have
But
to.
we can do TD Jakes.
You know what? I rebuke it all. I rebuke it. And how you doing? Thank you. And I love you too. So we're gonna be out of here. We'll see y'all tomorrow. So you guys have a great rest of your evening. Peace.